How y'all doing? Welcome to the beautiful Delmarva Eastern Shore. This here is Backwoods Billy coming to you with my craft beer reviews. Now this is just a beer that I brewed myself. I'm not trying to market or sell it, just giving everybody a little bit of trying to get everybody to be a little more creative and get more into craft beer. This right here, as you can see, very well carbonated. It's starting to dissipate now. This is my caramel apple eruption beer, and I made one as an apple pie beer. This is a caramel apple beer. It inspired me. I happen to like a beer by Tall Tales. They make two. One's Evil Apple and one's Redheaded Stepchild, which Tall Tales is in Parksonburg outside of Ocean City. The red ale that they make, Redheaded Stepchild, is really good. Darker, much darker, so it's a red ale. Very dark, almost the color of a stout. This right here is your wood chips that I use to age as barrel chips. Now you can buy these from a homebrew shop, or you can make your own. Now, I rescued these from the fire pit because I used some in the grill, and I used, when we made shrimp after I made the beer, I put some of this in the shrimp, and then we used some beer in there to give it a little more flavor. It's really good. But I used this to dry hop it, and what I did when I got the chips, because they come in a bag from Lowe's, what I did is I actually, in order to sanitize it, I put a combination of an apple whiskey and a little bit of brandy, let it sit, and then I took them out of that and then put them in the oven and charred them. Now, the lighter charred to darker chards can create different tastes. You can also buy this pre-done in spirals or big blocks. The fact, and also a powder. The fact is, without a doubt, this works the best unless you get a barrel. Or the barrel aged effect, this is more cost effective. A lot of craft breweries are currently using this when they make a barrel aged beer. You get yourself some either glass rocks or just something glass can be weighted, put it inside of a nylon or a cheesecloth bag, put it in there to create it all the way up or down, or you can just stick it in the top. Now I waited till after this was fermenting for 7 days and put it in there. And I ran a secondary fermentation on purpose. This beer has 10.1% by volume alcohol, which is a lot for a pale ale. 6 types of hops. Most just have one. So this was something that was also dry hopped, as well as it was hopped throughout the brewing process. When I mean dry hopped, I mean it was actually put in the fermenter to give it some flavor. So there is a slight pepperiness to the beer. This, when you taste it, it tastes just like you're actually biting into a caramel apple, but you have the complexity of the wood, just like it was barrel aged, and you pick the whiskey flavors to it. Now you can add whiskey to this when you make it, and add brandy because you're not a craft brewery and you're not bound by the laws. Now, by doing this, I add more depth and character to the beer. Just trying to get it to be a little more creative. You can see this right here. If you look at the bottle of this, this is a 2-liter bottle that I bottled. You can see the color. It's like one of the lines with a pale ale, a darker, or like an Indian pale ale. And as you can see, when you saw the beer, it's very well carbonated. I'm going to grab this. This one is, you can still see the carbonation in the bottle. Now, this is a live beer, and by that I mean there's actual yeast in the bottom of it. You can either use this when you go to make your own beer. You can get a supply from wine. Either homebrew shop will have them for wine. It's a plastic thing, and you just screw the bottle and you age it upside down. And what happens, all the yeast drops to the bottom, it filters it out. Or you can just filter it out when you, after you carbonate it, you can filter it out, which is fine. But the old beers had this in it, and it's actually healthier for you. One has more nutrients in it. Two, it actually helps clean your system out, kind of like the yogurt has little active cultures in it. So it's actually healthy for you. And I don't see why you should get rid of that. So, but if you're into doing that to get rid of it, you can get rid of it. It doesn't really affect the taste. It just makes the beer a little cloudier. That's all. When you start adding more ingredients to it, you're going to do it anyway. Now, you can add like brown sugar. You can use regular sugar to carbonate. You can use dextrose. You can use honey, maple syrup. You can use molasses. Be creative when you make a beer and try to make one. Now this is done because we're in a travel trailer. I don't want to start brewing 5 and 10 gallon batches. I have no room for that. So we're using I'm just myself using a 1 gallon fermenter. So I'm only making a gallon at a time, which is more work, but I don't have the room. So the next beer I'm going to do is going to actually be a pear, the smoked pear beer. It's just going to be a pear beer, pear ale. And I also like barrel aged beers. That's why Heavy Seas is one of my favorite breweries, because they do a lot of barrel aging. There's a couple beers by Third Wave they got barrel aging. There's a couple by can't think of the name. Union has a barrel aging. I just like that the complexity of the wood and bringing in the alcohol from like a bourbon or a brandy or a whiskey makes it more complex, and picking the notes up in there matter. You smell it. It smells just like a caramel apple. You get the 10.1%, you get the alcohol effect from it, but it's not heavy, it's not burning, but you can feel there's alcohol when it goes down. The mouthfeel in this is on the medium heavy side because one, it's a live beer. Two, I've got other ingredients in here like molasses to kind of give you the caramel effect to it. But anyway, give it a try it out yourself. And when I did the bottle list to save money, because I don't have the room, I have bottles, I can cap them. I've done some with caps recently, but this I like. This is actually a Sam's Cola from Walmart. It doesn't have the little plastic inside. Some of these caps will have a little plastic seal, so you should really, when you sanitize it, take it out and sanitize that separately from this piece, so you don't get any kind of remnants or something inside there. Now, when you do your own bottling, when you make beer and sanitize it, every step you can do, even though something else is going to live in beer, you want to make sure that you're clean when you do stuff, so you don't create a bacteria. But you can also create a bacteria in the yeast because you're off flavors. That's why you can use Star Sand or some of the stuff, this powder you can do to get your, what bug is this thing? All kind of bugs out there. It was just starting to get good weather and everything in the world's out. But anyway, I sanitized the bottles before I bottled it. This is just the way when you buy the Pepsi bottles, you have it automatically put them in a glass. We've got 7 dogs in a travel trailer. I don't want the glass breaking. It's a lot to do to get all the stuff fermented and all in one shot. But give it a try yourself. And also when you brew different style beers, like you brew a stout, brew a porter, brew a red, brew a brown, brew a pale ale, brew an Indian pale ale, and then start doing different things. I mean, I saw people that got beer kits that were saying, oh, I didn't like it, got a light beer from Mr. Beer. Well, you know what? This is an all grain mash that I did, and I'll post pictures of it. But you can change that by adding flavor to it. You know, a dry hop with some fruit at the end, or do a tea and marry it when you get ready to carbonate it. You'll create a different effect. Try different things. And this is an actual pale ale. It's not a light ale, but I mean, it's not a light beer. But it's a top fermenting yeast, and I double carbonated on purpose. The reason I did double was I double fermented it and put a little extra carbonation in it on purpose to get a little more carbonation to it, and I wanted a stronger beer, 10.1 versus like a 4.5, 3.8 type thing. Thanks for your time. If you like this forward along, please try to go out and make your own beers. And you do stuff like that, you'll gain more knowledge about the beer and the style, and you'll begin to pick up the different taste of the beer. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.